City में 17 on a petrol engine.
On a petrol engine, yes.
Yeah, I think Maruti is known for its service experience. I wish Tata and Mahindra users could say the same.
This is not something that you can drive at 160, 150. No. So this mosquito net is a big problem.
Right. How are you doing? कैसे हो? आज हम बहुत ही स्पेशल गाड़ी का रिव्यू करने के लिए आए हैं एंड एज यू कैन सी द कार इज मारुति सुजुकी ग्रैंड विटारा. सो दिस कार बिलोंग्स टू आयुष. तो उनका आज हम ओनरशिप एक्सपीरियंस भी लेंगे कि कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, हाउ इज़ द रिव्यू. ही हैज़ ड्रिवन द कार फॉर मोर देन 10,000 किलोमीटर्स नाउ एंड काफ़ी कम्प्रिहेंसिव रिव्यू आपको मिलने वाला है कि गाड़ी में कमियाँ क्या है, गाड़ी में अच्छी बात क्या है, प्रोज एंड कॉन्स के बारे में बात करेंगे, माइलेज कैसा है, सर्विस कॉस्ट कितना है, पूरा इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको मिलेगा गाड़ी के बारे में, कैसी गाड़ी है, कैसे चलती है, आपको लेनी चाहिए कि नहीं लेनी चाहिए. अगर आपको ये नहीं लेनी चाहिए तो इसके अलावा आप कौन सी और गाड़ी ले सकते हो, सेल्टॉस ले सकते हो, क्रेटा ले सकते हो, क्या पूरा हमने कवर किया है. तो लेट्स गेट इनसाइड. तो हाय, वी हैव हियर विद अस आयुष. हेलो, कैसे हो सर?
All good, sir.
सो आयुष इज़ ऑल्सो वेरी बिग टाइम ऑटोमोबाइल एंथुसियास्ट एंड ये इनकी ही गाड़ी है मारुति सुजुकी ग्रैंड विटारा. इनसे हम बात करेंगे कि कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है इनका. ऑलमोस्ट 13,000 किलोमीटर इन्होंने गाड़ी चला ली है. हाँ, तो ओवरऑल प्रोज एंड कॉन्स के बारे में भी बात करेंगे, लेकिन उससे पहले लेट्स गेट टू नो फ्रॉम हिम कि कब ली थी आपने ये गाड़ी.
I got this car somewhere around April of 22 something.
So it's the alpha variant, right?
Yes, it's the top end alpha.
Okay, so let's move on to pros and cons now. Let's hear from Ayush first कि उनका क्या लगता है कि क्या pros है, क्या cons है. Then I'll share my experience कि how I'm feeling while driving. So let's start with pros. Ayush, क्या लगता है, क्या pros है गाड़ी के?
The biggest pro for this car is the way it drives. It's a very silent car in terms of the driving experience. The engine is very refined to drive. In terms of what I wanted as a car is, this was something from my options was a beater car.
Okay.
So you can drive it as much as you want. This car does not give you any load whatsoever. It can go all wherever you want because of the way this chassis is built. So in that terms, it's very good.
Hey, even the first thing that I noticed after sitting in the cabin is how comfortable these seats are.
Yeah.
The cushion is very chunky. You can actually feel the comfort. It's very plush. So if you are traveling with your family and if you need a very comfortable ride, and as in we know the Indian road condition is not very good all over the country.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the overall suspension setup, everything is so good. The car just glides over potholes and bumps. And second pro that I noticed after coming in, the cabin also looks pretty premium. It was considered कि only the Koreans used to make very premium cars. बाकी मारुति का तो इतना premium के लिए it was not known, but I think that equation is changing now.
In this segment, as you see, the softest plastics that you have technically are more than what you get on the Creta.
Yeah.
So the soft touch plastics, the touch points and all, they're really good on this end. And when it comes to all the seats and the cushioning that's there for the front and the back, it's absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
So in fact, in my family, we've got people who have got backache and all of that. And when we tried testing the cars, the Koreans could not give us that kind of comfort.
Okay, एक और प्रो मुझे यहाँ पे दिखाई दे रहा है कि इस गाड़ी का माइलेज काफी अच्छा निकलती है. कितना माइलेज मिलता है आपको?
City में it gives me somewhere around 17-18.
City में 17 on a petrol engine.
On a petrol engine,
Oh
yes. So you have to drive really nicely and smoothly. It gives you 17-18.
Okay.
Bumper to bumper traffic, I haven't gone ever below 11-12. So if I've taken this car out in Bangalore, I've taken this car out in Mumbai, and this car never has given me below 12.
Okay.
And if you look at highway behavior, if you drive in the sweet spot and the sweet range, so it gives you 23.
Nice.
Yes.
So मतलब डीजल के बराबर माइलेज है यार, और क्या ही चाहिए. दिस इज द स्मार्ट हाइब्रिड वेरिएंट, स्टिल इट हैज सो मच माइलेज. इमेजिन कि जो स्ट्रॉन्ग हाइब्रिड है उसमें कितना ज्यादा माइलेज होता होगा.
So strong hybrid has its pro in the city में due to the electric transmission and all, आपको बहुत अच्छा माइलेज मिलेगा. But out in the highway, what we observed is that actually the mileage would dip.
Okay.
Because it's a 3-cylinder engine. So as you go around 100, the 3-cylinder actually becomes a bit noisier.
Correct.
And secondly, वो average थोड़ा सा dip हो जाता है.
So was that a reason for not getting the strong hybrid, or is there any other reason?
Actually, for me, the strong hybrid had 3 main problems,
Okay.
which the reason I didn't go for the smart hybrid. Sorry, the full hybrid.
Strong hybrid, yeah.
The first thing was your boot goes off.
Correct.
So you get a very small boot, 273 liters means it was just a hatchback boot. So that didn't cut it out. And if you look at families, when you take your family out, it does not serve your purpose. Even if I have to go out, I've taken this car out all the way, in trips to Kerala and all of the places. You do have your boot space, right? So that's
Right,
one
right,
point. The second point that comes across is in this car, see the cost difference. It's almost a 4.5 lakh premium that you pay top end versus top end.
Correct.
So top end versus top end, the 4.5 lakh premium is not justified in that smart hybrid. The third problem is, as I told, I wanted a car that's a beater. Now this engine that you have, the smart hybrid 1.5 engine, this engine you can take it to any service station across the country. It will be serviced at ease. No one knows, that this is a problem in the Atkinson cycle engine.
Okay.
That's the Toyota engine. People don't know what to do with it.
Okay.
I even observed that even Toyota workshops are very new with that engine.
Acha.
So previously I had opted for the Toyota Hyryder hybrid.
Okay.
But then once I saw the behavior of the technicians and everybody going towards Toyota, I was like, let's pause for a bit and go back to the basics. So if I wanted peace of mind that my car should not give me a problem.
The 4-cylinder engine is a gem and it actually takes very less maintenance. आपको कुछ सर्विस कॉस्ट वगैरह बता पाओगे कि?
So service cost, I prefer going only for full synthetic oils. So if you go for the standard, Maruti service, the service cost that was quoted to me at 10,000 kilometers was somewhere around 3,000 rupees.
Okay.
If you go for full synthetic, it costed me somewhere about 5,000 rupees or something like that. The Nexa service experience has been really good so far. So
Yeah, I think Maruti is known for its service experience. I wish Tata and Mahindra users could say the same.
oh yeah.
This car is being actually good. Matlab, even I can see the edges of the bonnet very clearly. It feels big, but it is very easy to maneuver.
Right.
So I think that's the best thing. You are in a very nice commanding position. You can see the entire road. You can see the bonnet. This is also one of the pro. But I think this is the biggest in the segment sunroof, जो काफी बड़ा open होता है. मतलब.
हाँ, अब नई Creta में बड़ा आएगा.
हाँ.
But at that point of time, this was the biggest sunroof available.
Toyota Hyryder was also available, right?
Right, but
So
Hyryder actually had two big problems. The first thing was the booking that was going on for Hyryder. So I had to make a buy in a particular month. And at that point of time, when I booked the Hyryder, I had parallelly made a booking for Hyryder as well. But Hyryder, they kept on pushing the booking ahead. So they would not give me the vehicle. The second point with Hyryder that I got locally was that, I told you my car was from the company and BH and all of that. So when I went ahead to buy that car, Toyota dealers, they were not very comfortable in making those adjustments around.
और आई थिंक टोयोटा की गाड़ी पे काफ़ी आजकल वेटिंग पीरियड अभी भी चल ही रहा है. दे कोट वेरी हाई वेटिंग पीरियड्स. इवन द इनोवा हाई क्रॉस, इवन 2 साल का वेटिंग, इतना कौन वेट कर लेगा यार.
So basically you book a version right now, you get the facelift.
हाँ. If they are quick enough to release that.
I took it out in Kutch and we took it out in roads where the roads were being made. And in fact, even we took it from the Kumbhalgarh to Ranakpur route. So there are very steep inclines on that route. And we were driving in the rain, full family, set of 4. No sweat. This car did not break any sweat. It climbs with ease.
So the articulation is good.
The articulation is really good on this. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is it about the pros. Now let's go to the cons. क्या लगता है क्या खराब चीज़ है इस गाड़ी में?
Okay. So cons, if we talk about it, the first thing that would be is in terms of the back seat.
Okay.
So in terms of this back seat, you can't sit 5 big adults.
Okay.
So if you have to sit 5 big adults, this car becomes like
Cramped up, yeah.
Cramped up. The second con for this is not something that you can drive at 160, 150. No.
Okay.
This is not a car that you are driving 120 and then you just tap the acceleration and this will give you an overtake. You have to plan an overtake after 120. So that is one of the cons. One slight con, if I have to tell, that has to be somewhere in the boot. The boot mein you will have like a bit less space than the Koreans.
This has a 5 gear ka gearbox. So
Right.
Even after 100, it gets thoda overworked. It feels ki it is making some noise. Otherwise, the car is very silent. If you drive it before 100, it's very silent. But as I am revving it above 3000 RPM, it is making thoda noise. If a 6th gear was provided, I think that would have been the cherry on the cake.
If Maruti in a upcoming facelift gives us a 6MT.
Huh.
I might sell this one and buy a 6MT.
Yeah, it's totally worth it, right? Because the engine is
Yeah.
capable. It's actually capable. If you give it 6th gear, it will have a nice rev range and it can glide more comfortably.
Absolutely. And in fact, even the mileage would rise on this.
Even mileage would rise, correct. Also, one more thing, it is a naturally aspirated petrol engine, right?
Right.
So, if you want the instant rush, if you want the instant overtaking वाला feel जो turbo में आता है,
नहीं
तो
आता.
हाँ, वो थोड़ा यहाँ पे missing होगा. You'll have to plan your overtake, you have to downshift.
हाँ.
So that is a con. But again, it compensates in terms of mileage. अगर turbo होता तो mileage नहीं होता.
Right. And what it also compensates is in terms of your driving behavior.
Hmm.
So what you see is all the Creta Seltos owners, right? So if you look at the driving behavior, the typical driver behavior that typical Creta Seltos owners exhibit,
हाँ.
they would behave as if they are maniacs out on the road.
Hmm.
And that kind of behavior is something that you won't get from this car when you're driving.
Correct.
It's a gentle giant. That's
Yeah.
what you call it.
Yeah, it's a more mature car. It
Yes.
feels very relaxed. So if you want to have a gentle drive, then I think this is actually a great car. Another con that I can see right now is the way the steering feedback is. I mean, of course, it's not very vague, and when you pick some speed, it weighs up. But there is thoda bahut play in the center. Starting में if you can in the center, if you try to rotate the steering, it is not very reactive if you are used to driving German cars. And I think in terms of Japanese or even the Korean cars, you won't get a very precise and a very accurate steering. You will get thoda vague steering feedback. But I think that is what you'll have to accept.
That you have to accept, because see, Germans will give you that engineering.
They'll also give you a lot of problems.
Yeah. The Germans are your girlfriends. They'll give you that problems.
Yeah. So I drive a Venue, so I'm used to the smaller dynamics.
Ah.
When I started driving this, it was very effortless because, like I said, you can see the bonnet. It's very easy to gauge where the car is going, so it's not very difficult to learn.
So this mosquito net is a big problem.
Right. Mosquito net. Yeah, the covering of the sunroof is very thin. It's
Right. So if you are going to drive somewhere around, between 11 to 2, when the sun is above your head and you're going to drive, you might feel that, the car does heat up a bit, but then the AC is a chiller. So if right now we are at 24, and I have seldom kept this AC below 23, 22, something like that. If you keep it below 22 or something, people are going to feel the chills.
Right. Okay, so that were the pros and cons. So now if anybody wants to buy a car in this segment, in this budget, would you recommend this car or would you recommend any other car?
So I'd wait for them to see what the new Creta shows. But when I bought this car, this was an absolute bargain for me in terms of the value package it provided. And I think that's why you see 1 lakh plus of these cars out in the road within 7 to 8 months.
Okay, so pros and cons to ho gaye. So now if anybody has the same budget and they wants to buy a car in the same segment, would you recommend this car or any other car?
I think right now let's wait for the updates to arrive because the new Seltos has become quite a hot package.
Creta bhi aa rahi hai.
The Creta is coming along, and that's like the new features that are coming around. I wouldn't be excited for the ADAS as such, क्योंकि Indian roads पे ADAS किसी काम का नहीं है. But the other features that are arriving, that are good enough.
Correct.
So I'll wait to see what they offer as a package and as a value. But in terms of when I bought it, it was an absolute nonsense. No sense that you buy something else.
Correct.
Because the Creta Seltos unstable body shells. So
correct.
The safety was, if you are buying
It's a
something
concern,
for the
yeah.
long run, you need to see the safety.
Correct.
So typically this is a car that's manufactured by Toyota. So the body is strong, the body is safe, you've got 6 airbags, and at least a 4-star rated car.
So I think basically it will come down to your requirement. If you want a very peppy and very aggressive motor, then maybe you can look at something, the 1.5 liter turbo that new Seltos had got, and maybe even Creta will get that engine.
Now as Indians, you cannot buy a driver's car as your first car.
Correct. Yeah, you need a daily beater, yeah.
You need a daily beater. If you can go to the Germans, if it's your second, third car, it's something that you can let it be in the service station for 15-20 days, you're fine with it, that's fine.
Only I think in case you want very crazy power and maybe not that is your secondary car or something, in that case you can go to those 1.5 liter turbo petrol engines. Otherwise, if you are a normal driver, if you want a daily commuter which will be very comfortable and very efficient and easy on your pocket, then I think this is a no-brainer, because with petrol you're getting such good fuel efficiency. So this was the review of Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara. I hope this will help you decide कि आपको कौन सी गाड़ी लेनी चाहिए. अगर आपका ये बजट का सेगमेंट है तो which car you should buy. And I hope you got to learn a lot more about this car. अगर आपको कोई और क्वेश्चन है इस कार के बारे में तो let us know in the comments. We will answer it in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.